100 tons of solid gold and platinum used, 3 agonizing years of back-breaking construction, and to top it all off, a hefty price tag of $4.8 billion. Yet despite all this, no one in the world has ever seen the History Supreme, the most expensive luxury yacht in the world. Join me today as we take a look at the mystery of the most expensive yacht in the world. A luxury yacht that is shrouded in as much controversy as the legend of Bigfoot or even the Loch Ness Monster. It all started in 2011 when UK luxury company Stuart Hughes published a description of the History Supreme on their website. They claimed that they had just delivered the world's most expensive luxury yacht, draped in solid gold, to an anonymous buyer. The contents of the press release also claimed that the company had worked on the yacht for 3 grueling years, using 100,000 kilograms of platinum and solid gold to construct the boat. At first, most people thought this was simply a marketing gimmick by the company, because seriously, no one had ever heard of someone spending 100 tons of solid gold to build a boat. But there was more. Stuart Hughes teased that the owner of the History Supreme was a wealthy Malaysian business mogul who had chosen to keep his identity a secret. Instantly, the internet's armchair of detectives set their sight on none other than Malaysia's wealthiest man, Robert Kuok, founder of the enviable Shangri-La chain of hotels and luxury resorts. In fact, Forbes estimates his wealth to be somewhere between $10 to $12 billion. He is also the only billionaire in Malaysia with a net worth of over $5 billion. Yet, even with all that wealth, you must admit that he doesn't necessarily qualify to sit in the league of billionaires who can easily splash $5 billion on a luxury yacht, am I right? I mean, that's almost half of his entire wealth. And if there's one thing I know about entrepreneurs like Mr. Kuok, they would never spend half of their wealth on a luxury asset like this. But then again, you can never know with these billionaires. And speaking of billions, what exactly makes the History Supreme so expensive? Well, measuring 100 feet in length, the History Supreme might not be the biggest yacht in the harbor, but let me remind you one last time that it is covered bow to stern in platinum and gold. Don't get me wrong, I've been on my fair share of luxury yachts, but I have never seen one where the rails, dining area, and even the anchor are completely decked out in solid gold. I mean, that must be a sight to behold. But even this doesn't beat the piece de resistance of the yacht, the master bedroom. Rumor has it that this bedroom is so lavish that its walls have been built from meteorite stone, and then finished off with genuine T-Rex bones that were ground and added to the meteorite material. Oh yes, you heard that right, Tyrannosaurus Rex bones. Oh, and you thought the designers were done? They then added a solid platinum finish to the ensemble. That's right, solid platinum. I mean, talk about pulling out all the guns in the design room. Once the History Supreme was announced, it dethroned the Eclipse as the most expensive yacht in the world. The Eclipse, which is the prized property of Russian oligarch Roman Abramovich, is quite different in terms of build from the History Supreme. For starters, it measures 533 feet in length and 72.2 feet in height, which is much larger than the History Supreme. And with a total living space of 6,000 square feet, divided between 11 staterooms and suites, this super yacht can host up to 30 guests and a crew and staff of up to 92 members. Abramovich took ownership of the yacht in December of 2010, once construction of the vessel was finalized by German shipbuilder Blohm and Voss. The ship itself is divided into 9 decks, with the top deck boasting a helicopter pad and even a garage where Abramovich can park his luxury vehicles. On the 8th and 7th decks, we have the swimming pool and sun deck. This is where guests can go for a swim and sunbathe in the summer sun. A deck below, guests are treated to the salon, not to mention the main dining hall where they can get a hearty meal. Levels 4 and 3 are the accommodation area, containing the cabins and suites of the crew, guests, and the owner. And finally, the second level serves as the submarine docking port, with the first level hosting the yacht's engine room and even a small disco club. Unlike the History Supreme, which is coated in solid platinum and gold, the Eclipse is built with a displacement steel hull and aluminium superstructure. It also has a state-of-the-art stabilization system that reduces the roll motion effect, not to mention anchor stabilizers to enhance comfort when the boat is coming to a stop. The Eclipse has undergone several interior renovations in the last decade to improve its overall look and magnificence. And today, the Eclipse superyacht is worth $1.5 billion, only about 3 times less than the price of the History Supreme. But unlike the History Supreme, we've actually seen the Eclipse taking off from a harbor and venturing into the high seas. In fact, the Eclipse is usually rented out as a luxury yacht for other wealthy decadents to enjoy. Interestingly enough, the Eclipse has an annual upkeep fee of $60 million. However, talk is that this superyacht is so popular that even when Abramovich is not using it, it still makes him a handsome profit when rented out. As for the History Supreme, the mystery of its existence and whereabouts deepens. For one, it's never been sighted at any of the major ports where billionaires prefer to dock their yachts. No one has ever recorded it sailing or snapped pictures of it at any harbor. And some yachting message boards even believe that the images that were taken by luxury company Stuart Hughes were actually concept images of another yacht that was in production. But for now, the truth about the History Supreme is very obscure. It is entirely possible that we could be talking about a boat that doesn't even exist. Or perhaps it's so exclusive in fact that only the richest of rich have ever laid eyes on the History Supreme. So, dear viewers, let me know in the comments section down below if you've ever seen the History Supreme or have any concrete evidence of it. So for now, we'll just accept that on paper, the most expensive yacht is the History Supreme. But when it comes to the high seas, the Eclipse still reigns as the most luxurious superyacht on the planet. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Oh, and maybe turn on post notifications. Now if you'll excuse me, I've got some yachting message boards to surf through. As always, I'm Mr. Luxury. Pip pip, de doodly doo.